Terrifying scenes there. Well, authorities say the truck, riddled with bullet holes, had firearms, grenades and explosives inside. Police are trying to determine if the identity card of a 31-year-old French-Tunisian man found in the truck's cab matches the body of the driver. Well, French President François Hollande says no one can deny this was a terror attack, and he wants the country's state of emergency extended another 3 months.
In a speech a short time ago, Mr. Hollande appeared angry, he was cold and he was direct. He said France is stronger than terror.
France has been struck on the day of her national holiday, the 14th of July, Bastille Day, the symbol of liberty, because human rights are denied by fanatics, and France is quite clearly their target. I express on behalf of the nation that we show our solidarity towards the victims and their families.
Well, our Becky Anderson joins us now live from Paris. Becky, bring us up to speed. What's the latest you're hearing?
Well, what had been a day of celebration in France turning into a night of absolute carnage. And while there has been no claim of responsibility as of yet, as you have been reporting, authorities here saying we are at war with terrorists. Let's go over what we do know specifically at this point. There were thousands of people on the Promenade des Anglais, which is the main route in Nice, which is a southern French beach resort town. They were watching the fireworks. It was around 10 o'clock at night on what was Bastille Day when this white truck made its way down at around, witnesses suggesting at about 20 to 25 kilometers an hour, and drove for a mile and a bit, maybe 2 kilometers is what witnesses describe, on a road that was supposed to be cordoned off so that people could enjoy these fireworks. And as you have pointed out, it drove slowly, but people say swerving, as a gunman shot from into the crowd from inside this truck. And then it continued, and it mowed people down in front of it as it continued. Eventually it was stopped by authorities, and were police not to have acted as quickly as they did, we're told that things could have been a whole lot worse. But as you rightly point out, it is an awful situation. And as the sun comes up here in Paris and in Nice, the evidence for all to see, at least 80 dead, including children, at least 18 people in intensive care, we are told, if not more. It could be that hundreds are injured. You've rightly reported that this truck was eventually stopped when police fired at the driver. The truck riddled with bullets. They found explosives, weapons and grenades in the back of this truck. Now, as far as the identity of the gunman is concerned, well, there was an identity card found in the cab of this truck. It was a Tunisian, French, Nice, resident of Nice. And what authorities are trying to do at the moment is match that identity card with the body of the driver that was pulled from this truck after the event. But witnesses describing total and utter carnage. They were absolutely terrified. People at first, we are told, believed that this truck had just been going very slowly and had knocked somebody over. It was only when witnesses described it as accelerating that other people realised that this was an attack, a truck attack. And the context for this, of course, couldn't be worse. 18 months worth of tumultuous time in France, starting with the Charlie Hebdo attacks back in January of 2015, the attacks on Paris, 130 dead and shootings in November of last year. And this state of emergency, which was to have been lifted on July the 22nd, and may now be extended until at least October. That is certainly what the French president is asking for. And he made an address to the nation. And consider this, that address to the nation was at around, if I remember rightly now, at around 3:30 in the morning. Quite remarkable. An address not to the nation, clearly, but to the world at large. It is now 6 minutes past 6 in the morning. This event now some 8 hours in the making, but there will be those who are only now waking up in France who went to bed on Bastille Day having absolutely no idea that this is what they would wake up to on their television sets and in their newspapers this morning, guys.
Becky, we'll get back to you later this hour, thank you. And we have more media from social media, more video rather, from social media, which shows the horror of this attack. It is graphic, but it has been edited, so we can show it to you now.
Pure horror. Joining us now is American Paul Delane. He was a witness to the attack and he joins us by phone from Nice. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. First of all, tell us where exactly you were